Okay, back with posterior compartment. On this side, you can actually see your flexor carpi ulnaris muscle. It's on this. It's pretty big on this side, so I just named it the flexor carpi. I should say ulnaris. Ulnaris. But we've already marked here number 9. It's confusing, but this one is up here as your brachioradialis muscle. If you break that muscle down, you say brachio, brachium, and radialis, radius. I feel like if you've ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, he's like, you give me any word, and I will tell you how it is Greek. And the girl is like, okay, what about kimono? And he's all like, oh, kimono? It is like kimono, and what do you put on? I don't know if he even makes that up or if it actually is Greek, but it's pretty amazing. Anyway, but brachioradialis, brachium, radius, combine them, brachioradialis muscle, it does flexion of the elbow. Coming down, we're going to restart our numbering. 1, extensor carpi radialis longus. That gives you pretty good determining factors of where you're going to find that muscle. Extensor, meaning it's most likely going to be on the posterior side because you need to extend the wrist. If this is flexing the wrist, to extend it would be to bring it back. Or if you want to overextend, overextension is bending it like that. So yes, flexion, extension, extension. Okay. Back to the page. Extensor of the wrist. It's closer to the radius and it's long. So extensor carpi radialis longus. Ta-da! It's right here. Found number 1. Number 2, extensor carpi radialis brevis muscle. Brevis means short. So in comparison, these two, if you have a longus, you're most likely going to have a brevis in most cases in the body. So extensor carpi radialis brevis. Extensor digitorum muscle. We're talking about your digits now. Number 3, this big chunky muscle. If you follow the tendons down, it actually goes to these digits, which it extends them. So usually when you can't really see it very well on my hand, but like on older people's hands, like you can totally see the raised tendons in that hand. Ooh, it's like creepy, kind of like skeletons, but old people aren't creepy. It's just, it's eerie sometimes. Forget we ever talked about that. Yes, extensor digiti minimi muscle. Minimi just meaning small, and it is very small. You can barely see it over here. It just is very tiny, and it runs down and actually helps with the flexion of the digits. And then you have extensor carpi ulnaris muscle. So ulnaris, obviously referring to the ulna, right? It's going to be closer to the ulna. Extensor carpi ulnaris muscle. It's this chunky one right here. Okay. Now moving to the deep group. This is going to have some muscles that are harder to see, so you'll have to forgive me. But what we have here is number 6 as the supinator. You're just going to have to write some notes for that muscle. The supinator, we know what supination is, right? This is prone. To supinate would be to bring your palms up forward, meaning you could hold soup. Okay, attaches to the lateral epicondyle on, what do we call this? The humerus. And its function is to supinate the wrist. But this muscle is actually found up next to, why am I showing you my nasty skin? Here, I'll just show you guys a really cool picture instead. You can see here the elbow is here. This is the olecranon, and this is going to be your, I don't know why I was pointing to this side for some reason. I don't know. It's this side. And you can see this is the anterior view, this is the posterior view. And you can't really see it on our diagram, but on this diagram, you sure can see it. Basically, it just does supination. Okay. Whoop. Then the anconeus muscle, number 7, up and through here. That helps with elbow extension, just bringing your elbow to straight instead of bent, or flexed. And then we have the radial group, which consists of your abductor pollicis longus muscle. Now your abduction of the thumb, we talked about to abduct would be to move away from the midline of the body. This is adduct, abduct, adduct, abduct. So we're going to abduct our pollicis, which means our thumb, and that would be this tendon that you can see here, number 8. It abducts the thumb, and it's longus, okay, meaning it's long. Then you have down here, extensor pollicis longus muscle. This one is going to extend, I put it as number 10, because we already used number 9. It's going to extend the thumb, and then you have a brevis. Where the brevis is for this longus, I have no idea. But just be aware that I don't know everything, but I know that you guys will know everything eventually, and I can just ask you later. So number 11, which you can see here, extensor pollicis brevis, just meaning it's the shorter of the two muscles. And then extensor indicus muscle, which you can barely see underneath here. This tendon kind of comes down through here to touch the index finger. So when you say extensor indicus, you're thinking your index finger. Basically, it extends the index finger. And that, my friends, is going to be your simple, quick muscles of the antebrachial, anterior and posterior compartments. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.